You're gonna get really good at analogies though.
But that's when you are really,
But you know what's funny?
That's probably a coping mechanism.
No, for real.
Hey, yeah, sure. You are good at them.
How do I make you understand, Mom? You know, octopus.
No, I've always noticed Bart has a good ability to do that, and I'm like, man, that's actually it makes sense.
That's a pretty good. I think we should figure something out. That's why Bart is good at analogies.
It's preventing my beat.
What do you mean? You had to use analogies to defend yourself as a kid?
To try to probably explain to my mom my point of view, probably.
Oh. So you've been explaining analogies to your mom since you were a kid? Like,
Timer?
in order to get your point across as a child?
Me and my mom have been conversing like equals since I was a child.
Wow.
Dude.
And I think that was the crazy part because the flip, like when she could pull the mom card out and beat my ass, comes so suddenly that it was always like, what the f? So it's so scared for me. Because we'll be at a restaurant, right? We're going back and forth. Hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing. You know, like how like our mom and dad got divorced, so should we like rent out the other rooms? And like she always like talked to me like I'm like her confidant in things, right?
Right.
And then when I would tell Gio like what the conversations I had with my mom as a kid, Gio would be like, what the f*** you be telling kids that shit? Like they don't need to have financial stress and they're 6 years old, understanding, they're barely figuring out life.
So your mom would talk to you about how much money you guys had?
Yeah, she would show me her checkbook, like look at this.
But does Gio not like put together some version of maybe because you were exposed to that, you are who you are now?
Yeah, no, for sure there's benefits, right? But just the
in general,
I think the way she's viewing it is outside of this situation. Yeah, mom judging mom.
Yeah.
Mom judging mom, like what the hell was?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I agree with that, but like if the product worked for that relationship or that kid, or if like as a mom you recognize, or as a father you recognize Taika like receives certain things a certain way.
Yeah.
Would you be like, oh fuck it, this is unconventional, but I think you might.
No, because I think in order to arrive to the same spot as let's say me, you would have had to work harder on yourself. Because your mom made it more difficult. You know what I mean? Like where Bart ended up is fucking dope, but like you can't, it's like this to say like, oh well, I mean I guess the parenting's pretty good because I ended up a good person, but you have to work harder to be a good person.
Yeah.
I would have been more superior if I had better parents.
Most people in your position would have ended up worse people.
They don't make it. They don't make it out.
Statistically, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think Gio's happy that I was left with a monk unsupervised for like a week, you know?
Yeah. Like, I still think about that. I honestly think about that a lot. I think about that a lot, dude.
Your luck factor is insane, dude. And he didn't get touched, because monks be touching.
Yeah.
They do?
I be showered sometimes where I'll watch a movie with a monk in it, and every time I go, I can't believe Bart never got molested by a monk. That's what I think in my head. Is that fucked up to say out loud? Sorry.
Maybe he wasn't a hot kid.
But that's a real thought that goes through
You
my
got
head.
ripped off with his story?
Well, but it's just like, you know, sometimes it's...
You're like, where's the climax?
Wait, no. Christopher Nolan directed it.
No, I'm not hoping he got molested. It's just like, man.
Yeah, he's like, you know your story has a big plot hole, right?
It's like, can you believe dinosaurs are around? It's like the same type of excitement. It's like, wow, like that's amazing, actually.
Yeah, dude, I think
There are some good monks out there. That's what I
I think you really had to do a lot more to end up normal. Like, for sure.
That's well, he's still not normal.
I'm definitely not normal.
Well, nobody's normal,
he's coped
but
well,
like,
though,
you know what I mean? Like, to not be like a deranged individual is a negative impact on society around you.
Yeah. Because what's the flip side, right? You grew up with your mom always talking about money. Then you grew up being very fearful of money. You never want to deal with it. You don't like address it.
Or I think probably the worst would be like, let's say, so the worst I ever, so what's cool is me and my mom would talk about anything now. So I told her when I was in 3rd grade I was thinking about committing suicide because I'm like, my life fucking sucks. It's not the same as whatever, right? And then we're at fucking Delicious Food
Just
Corner.
make sure there's a punchline for Nick, okay? Look at his face. His hopes are up right
We're
now.
at Delicious
What do you
Food
talk about
Corner.
the monks, dude?
We're at Delicious Food Corner and I was like telling her, I was like, so you know how like it got really bad and I was gonna kill myself when I was 8. She's like, yeah. She was like, but it's cool that we could talk about that stuff.
I was like, yeah, that was rough for you.
At least she acknowledges it, you know? Some parents would be like, what are you talking about?
What if you just kept trying to see how far you can push it? And you're like, and you know how those monks molested me, right? And she just goes, oh yeah.
Because in the moment,
I thought that was gonna mess you up.
It's all good intentions.
She's like, I paid them to. I want to make you stronger.
You came out on top, Bart. Good job.
This is why I donate to Monk all the time.
Yeah, like in the moment, it's all good intentions, you know, because she's like, oh, but I just want this, I wanted this for you, wanted this for you. And I'm like, no, I totally get it.
It's just misguided.
But I'm like, but like, let's say if we backtrack, and my mom had like 2 or 3 super tight ass homies. They're all Taiwanese, so similar in culture. They all like college educated, came here, worked for the same company. Cool. And then we all went to Chinese school together, so it's like very direct comparisons, you know? And I'm like, okay, out of those this little cohort of kids that we had were all the same age. How many of these motherfuckers lived with monks? How many of these motherfuckers got their TVs taped up? But you know, like I would just list it all out, and then my mom would be like, dude, that is fucking crazy. And I'm like, you did that, dude. So it's cool, she's self-aware.
Yeah.
Of those things.
I bet you guys could actually have that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of parents could have that conversation.
But can't you just trump all of those like craziness and be like, you were a crazy boy?
And I admit that. So that's the cool part. So my mom, I think like, because I think I'm a little bit more healed than she is, it's very easy for her to get defensive, and she'll like, sometimes she'll say sorry, or she'll start crying and shit. She's like, oh, she'll be like, can you forgive me? And I'm like, Mom, it's not about that.
Sorry is crazy.
Yeah, my mom's not about that. I'm like,
My mom like learning something.
Yeah.
Who were you guys raised by?
oh, Asian parents are crazy.
You don't know, like Asians appear smart, but they're fucking stupid.
Or they're just like locked in how they.
What it is they're disciplined. So they just fucking beat the fuck out of something until it works. But it's literally a caveman forcing a circle to get into a square in a box.
And it took me
Yeah.
nearly like 40 years to be intelligent enough to know when I've got my mom got now, because I happen to know shit about the world. And then when I get her got and I know that she has no real response, she still is able to
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think when I have this conversation with all of my friends that are like white or whatever, right? Is you guys don't
Or whatever.
have any understand. Well, for example, there is no background of Western philosophy, so there's no reason, there's no logic, which is really weird because it's like they can't fathom a world where that doesn't exist in like a conversation. So even when I'm talking to Steve, he goes, "Oh, you just have to say this to them and they'll understand," and I'm like, "That's not how it works. It doesn't go based on this is the factual thing. Let's have a discussion. It doesn't work like that."
It's like you have MS-DOS or whatever, and they have Linux.
Yeah.
But they think you go off of fucking Linux or HTML too, but it doesn't. But go ahead, sorry.
But do you think, because all your parents are immigrants, right?
Yeah.
Is that racist to us? We good?
Why'd
Okay.
you scorn when you say
Yeah,
that?
we're all fucking immigrants, goddamn.
you-
Hey, you're an immigrant.
Do you think
White fob?
a little bit of it of them holding on to something familiar because they were
Yeah,
thrown
absolutely,
into
yeah.
such an unfamiliar space?
Yeah, 100%.
That it's
sure.
to do with like not necessarily stubbornness, but like I have to hold on to what I understand because everything is foreign.
I think it's involuntary, a lot of it.
I think it would be really, really, really easy to understand and empathize with that sentiment, which is totally true, until you're growing up and your friend, who's also Asian, who also have immigrant
Yes.
parents, and their parents are like totally modernizing, learning the language and stuff like that, getting rich off of the businesses, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh no. I think everyone here was told that this is how they do it in the motherland. And then you go, oh, I guess that's how Japanese people are. And then you meet other Japanese people and you're like, motherfucker, our family's weird. They don't do this shit.
Bust in the door.
Yeah.
When he comes back home.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? It's a Japanese thing. Our family's weird. I've met 5 Japanese families. They don't do this shit.
Like, you know the story of like my mom and her aunt conspiring to marry me and my cousin? I'm like, that's fucking weird! That's even weird for Taiwanese! That's fucking weird, bro!
Conspire.
Yeah, don't go, oh, it's just a Chinese thing. I'm like,
they all do that.
But an Asian thing is to play it off. Like if you have a gripe, they're like, "What are you complaining about?" And I catch myself doing that all the time to people, and it's just like this weird thing. And I'm like, "Oh wait, I'm the fucking asshole trying to."
Yeah, now it's you.
Yeah, like I'm the fuck, and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's the shit my parents used to do all the time." Like, why are you mad about that?
They don't have discussions. There's no conflict resolution.
They gaslight you.
Well, you know why though? This is what I realized is because you use liaisons and lawyers, family. It's everything is a family discussion or a group discussion. Like, there's so many people in your shit. Like, it's very Western to be face to face and be like, this is my point, this is your point. Let's have a discussion. Okay, cool. It's completely different. Like, I think the conflict resolution is like, okay, I'm gonna tell you my bullshit. They're gonna tell you my bullshit. It's gonna go back and forth. There's a middle person, and I was like, that's the unspoken cultural thing that happens, and then there's hierarchy, right? So like, if someone's superior to you, you can't actually confront them. It's just a weird dynamic that
you're not allowed to win any points either.
Yeah. No.
Right, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't work in a Western system.
Kind of like what Bart was saying. Anytime they could use a card of like, I'm older, you don't know what you're talking about, and you know, all parents do that from like across all cultures. But for whatever reason, I feel like the Asian ones, they just fucking hit you in the head.
That's like the Asian version of logic. Like that's logical.
That's logical.
And thinking about like how my parents, or like how my, especially my mom, how she raised me and how she disciplined me, I realized it was all just impulse. It was her just being like so fed up in the moment that whatever emotional thing that she felt was right in her head, or reaction or physical, was just like, she was just so mad and stressed for whatever. So she just dumped it, and then she'd be like, all right, yelled at you for like 3 hours, like, you want something to eat now? You know, like, it was just, and then as a kid, you're like, fuck, dude, I don't know what's happening. Or like, she'll beat your ass. She'll just, and it was just like, and you can see red. Like now as an adult, you're like, oh yeah, she would just get so mad, just try to beat your ass or yell at you until you felt like you've learned your lesson or that was enough. And then you're like, all right, let's watch some Jade Network.
It's so strange that you can go years only seeing the annoyed, angry side of your parents. Like I probably went like 10 straight years. I went like 10 straight years of never hearing my mom's like nice voice.
Yeah, you're like, dude, like, oh, I had the most loving parents. And then from 4
Certain
to like
phases.
15, it's a different person. It's like, what?
When I was cute, they were cool.
Yeah, you're like, where did you go? That's crazy. And then when you have kids, they show up all of a sudden. You know, all of a sudden, wait, oh, that's the one I remember. You're all cute with the fucking grandkid. What the hell?
I don't even remember the one. I was like, you're changed. What is this?
I just remember
To see that. Ooh.
There was a time where my identity was like, I just get in trouble all the time. Like, you know what I mean? And like as a kid, that's a weird kind of.
I'm the worst kid.
Yeah,
I was like, I must be the worst.
And then you think about like I remember my sister used to always tell me like, Nick, you weren't even that bad of a kid. But for so long, I used to always say like, oh, because I was getting in trouble for so much. Where you just have this identity of like, yeah, I just was a little shithead, wasn't I? And then my sister was like, you weren't that bad.
Dude, like I thought I was like legally retarded or something. I was like, I really was.
I'm never gonna get this.
That's how
right.
they make you feel.
Yeah, especially if you have a sibling that like gets better grades and shit. It's like A and F.
For real.
You know what I mean? There's no like A minus, B. Like no, you're F if you're not also an A. So my whole life, I was like, God damn,
It's pretty extreme.
I was like, I probably need to take medicine or something.
Well, my sister, I remember there was a thing where my sister made math field day or whatever in our elementary school. Your boy didn't even make it close, and I just was like, yo, my life is. I was in the 4th grade. I was like, dude, it's over for me. I'm stopping math now, and that was it. I was like, I'm not doing it.
It makes me wonder why it's all the same from like Japan all the way to like, I even hear like Indians, it's very similar. So I'm like, what is it? I thought it was Confucianism that made it tie together, but I'm just like, what is it about the culture where that's so common?
I'm just going to be a representative for all Asian parents. I think
Say it. Speak on it.
if we had had a kid when I very first immigrated here, I would have been similar.
So you think it's an immigration thing?
It's like you just got here kind of thing, and you're hanging on to it.
It's so stressful and you're so out of your comfort zone that I felt like I was on permanent survival mode. And like I'm coming from a much more similar culture where I speak the language. So it was easier for me to like acclimate.
From English to English.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine if you didn't even speak English.
And then I also came here with a husband with a job. Not, I know, right? Well done, baby. But not like coming here rebuilding from scratch, like finances and everything else. And I was still like wound like that. And I think that I can kind of see, because I was snapping at everybody. I was like, I said shit. So I'm like, I can kind of understand.
But mom, why didn't you just say that to me?
Because you're a little shit.
Your brain is soft.
You're not the son I wanted.
There's my mom. That's her.
But that is the other side of it. It's like, as a kid, you're like, shut up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
Your brain looks like a conch shell.
Yeah, even if I told you, you couldn't even process that.
But what's cool is me and my mom could have those conversations now.
That's
So I can feel us like if this is the healing fucking journey, it feels we're past the halfway.
That's great, dude.
So it's awesome. It's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Like I can slowly get to the point where I'm like, okay, like once you need me to wipe your ass, I'm not gonna fucking just throw you in a retirement home. Like I'll wipe your ass for you. Whereas before I'm gonna throw your ass away.
When they show that effort, it's easier
first
to.
time you shit, you're out.
when they show effort, it's easier to kind of forgive.
Yeah.
Cause like for my mom, very similar, but she's like, I still have these habits, so you gotta give me like some grace for the impulsive reactions.
And it's triggering too, those habits.
Cause like yeah, it's like it just happens, you know. But I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's also like, I'm glad that she's reflecting and reading. And she's trying to, because there's self-help books that she's reading in that language.
I'm sorry, I can't. I think what you guys have in common is that like your guys' relationship with your mom also has a dynamic where there was maybe like a. It's like you know when there's like two enemies, right? And then they become allies because there's a greater threat.
Which was a father or some shit.
Yes, I think you guys had something to relate to.
Right.
That was another variable versus like my parents here, me little shit always here.
Oh yeah.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll ever.
But
have
your
those
parents are
conversations.
younger, so there might be a point where they wise up. Because I think our parents are maybe 20 years older than yours. Yeah.
And my mom has a mustache already. Does your mom have a mustache?
That's important.
That's a pretty big
Because if
one.
they get to the mustache age, I think they soften up. I
Yeah,
think.
they get humbled and shit, you know?
They get almost like